Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 8 things to remember before the Yellowstone Season 5 Part 2 premiere. It will have been almost 2 years since Yellowstone Part 1 ended when Part 2 premieres in November 2024, and after the long break, there are a few important details from the previous episodes that fans should remember. The Paramount Network neo-Western drama TV show, created by Taylor Sheridan and John Linson, follows the Dutton family, the owners of the notorious Yellowstone Dutton Ranch in Montana. Over the course of Yellowstone's 5 seasons, the characters have gone through a lot as they face struggles from outside forces and from inside their own family. The finale of Yellowstone Season 5, Part 1 teased what's to come in Part 2. Episode 8, A Knife and No Coin, ended with many cliffhangers that set up the main conflict in the show's final season, including the Dutton family war that has been brewing for many years finally coming to a head. Unfortunately, Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 will not feature one prominent member of the neo-Western drama's cast, which undoubtedly changes the course of the show's previously planned ending. But the series will push on and hopefully deliver a satisfying conclusion to the Dutton family's story. In a shocking turn of events, Paramount announced that Kevin Costner would be leaving Yellowstone ahead of the Season 5, Part 2 premiere in May 2023, just a few months following Part 1's finale. Costner, who played John Dutton IEA, had been the face of the Taylor Sheridan TV series since the beginning. When someone thought about Yellowstone, they typically imagined Costner's face. However, A Knife and No Coin will serve as Costner's last appearance on the show, as he is not set to reprise his role in any of Part 2's episodes. As a result, Costner won't be around to give his character a satisfying ending. The hope is that Sheridan was able to craft John's exit in a way that makes sense, fits his character, and gives the audience closure. Many theorize that Costner's absence indicates that John dies in Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2. Any other explanation doesn't seem to work with John's story. If John dies, there are a multitude of ways for him to go, including murder, natural cause, or an accident. Fans will just have to tune into the Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 premiere to learn John's fate. Although John will be absent, likely dead, in Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2, his story from Part 1 will likely be important for the show's last set of episodes. John was elected as the governor of Montana during the Season 5 premiere, a position that he came to dislike more and more as the episodes went on. Costner's character ran in the first place to protect Montana from wealthy businesses looking to make the land a tourist destination. He promised to protect the land, despite his feelings towards the job itself. John's status as the governor of Montana also temporarily aligned him with Chief Thomas Rainwater, due to his vow to protect the state, which included native land. John's actions weren't well received among other political officials, though. Consequently, after Jamie's betrayal, more on that below, during the Yellowstone Season 5, Part 1 finale, John's standing as the governor of Montana, if he doesn't die, might be short-lived. Case and Monica lost their unborn baby, and Monica almost died in Yellowstone Season 5, Part 1. When Monica unexpectedly went into labor at night, she drove herself and her and Case's son, Tate, to the hospital while Case, who was off attending to business, would meet her there. Sadly, the road Monica was driving on was too dark, and her pain was too severe. Monica swerved in and out of the lane and crashed into a buffalo, as did another truck coming from the opposite way. The accident led to the miscarriage of Case and Monica's son, who was to be named John. Their son's death devastated Monica and Case in Yellowstone Season 5, Part 1. However, the couple is strong individually and together, and they are able to get through anything. Heading into the premiere of Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2, Monica and Case will return and hopefully be stronger than ever, especially since the show is seemingly foreshadowing the couple taking over control of the ranch. Following the death of her unborn son, John tried to comfort Monica, who was clearly and understandably heartbroken by the loss, and the talk between them surprisingly made Monica finally feel like she was a part of the Dutton family. During the Yellowstone Season 5, Part 1 finale, John also offered Monica and Case a home at East Camp on the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch. Monica and Case's part of Yellowstone Season 5 Episode 8 was probably one of the only heartwarming moments in the Part 1 finale. They are moving forward as a family and getting closer to the life they always dreamed of. Case no longer has to choose between Monica and his family. As a result, some believe that Case and Monica will take over control of the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch by the time Yellowstone comes to an end. The biggest and most surprising moment that came during the Yellowstone Season 5, Part 1 finale was Jamie, as Attorney General, filing articles of impeachment against his own father. He claimed that the reason for impeachment was John abusing his powers as the governor of Montana for his own personal gain. Unfortunately for John, since many people in power haven't approved of his methods, his being kicked out of office is likely. Jamie has always felt like the black sheep of his family, partly due to the fact that he was adopted. Beth has always hated Jamie in Yellowstone, and as a result, Jamie isn't too fond of his sister. Plus, Jamie doesn't have the best relationship with his father, to say the least. So it was only a matter of time before Jamie completely turned his back on his family. Once Jamie turned his back on his family by impeaching John during Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 8, it wasn't too difficult for Sarah to convince him to also want John and Beth dead. Sarah, who is involved with market equities, had been manipulating Jamie all season long. She wants John and Beth gone for personal reasons related to her work. Since Jamie was an easy pawn for her, Sarah latched onto him and convinced him to do her bidding, making Sarah a great Yellowstone villain. Many believe Kevin Costner's John will die in Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2, and given the events of the Part 1 finale, he might be assassinated, thanks to Sarah's influence. Based on Episode 8, Jamie will agree to Sarah hiring someone to kill his father and sister. Since Beth is confirmed to appear in Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2, and John isn't, perhaps Jamie and Sarah are successful in killing John, but not Beth. As mentioned above, Beth has hated her brother for years now, ever since Jamie took her to an abortion clinic that made her infertile without her knowledge when she was a teenager. Beth has been determined to make Jamie's life hell. Jamie took away Beth's ability to have children, making her despise him. So when Jamie pulled the impeachment stunt during the Yellowstone Season 5, Part 1 finale, Beth suggested to her father that they should take Jamie to the train station, aka kill him. The war between Beth and Jamie is officially on in Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2. Beth will be out for blood when Paramount releases Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2. All of her feelings of resentment and hatred towards her brother will boil up, resulting in an all-out war between the two siblings. Beth wants Jamie dead, and Jamie wants Beth dead. Only time will tell which Dutton family member comes out on top by Season 5's ending. Beth and Rip can't have kids in Yellowstone, but when Carter entered their lives in Season 4, Beth took him under her wing. Even though Rip was hesitant to let Carter get close to his family, he later softened to the idea and accepted the young teenager. It seemed like the Taylor Sheridan TV show was foreshadowing Beth and Rip adopting Carter. Instead, Carter barely had a role in Season 5, Part 1. Finn Little is set to reprise his role as Carter in Part 2. However, Carter's growth spurt seemingly changed his Yellowstone Season 5 storyline, meaning it's unclear if the series will go through with his adoption arc. Maybe the size of Carter's role will expand in Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2, and Beth and Rip will adopt him, but only time will tell what the neo-Western drama has in store for Carter.